Have you ever wondered if it's possible to act in a way that actually catches the Creator by surprise? What if your internal strength and your specific attitude in the face of darkness were so profound that even the Archangel Michael had to lower his sword in sheer amazement? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a spiritual revelation that changes everything we thought we knew about the Chosen One path. In this episode, you are going to learn exactly how your unique frequency has shifted the celestial atmosphere and why the heavens are currently standing in a state of holy silence because of you. We are breaking down the 10 specific ways your character has defied divine expectations, and by the end of this video, you will understand the true weight of the power you carry within your soul. You've never heard the journey described quite like this before, so prepare yourself. We are about to go deep, the moment you entered the furnace of your greatest trial. Something unprecedented happened in the spiritual realm. Usually, the heavens anticipate a plea for help or a cry of desperation, but your silence created a vacuum of power that resonated upward. It wasn't a silence of defeat, but a silence of absolute authority that signaled you finally understood who you are. This unexpected composure caused a literal pause in the divine narrative, as if the celestial clock stopped to witness a human soul operating in total alignment with its own divinity. You moved through the chaos with a grace that bypassed every known spiritual law of cause and effect. Instead of reacting to the shadows, you stood as a pillar of light that refused to flicker, forcing the energetic environment to adapt to you rather than you to it. This level of self-mastery is so rare that it effectively disrupted the standard flow of heavenly observation. The divine forces were prepared to intervene, yet they found themselves standing back because your internal frequency was already doing the work of 1,000 angels. The depth of this stillness revealed a maturity that most souls take lifetimes to cultivate. You stopped looking for external validation from the stars and started sourcing your power from the core of your being, which is where the Creator truly resides. This shift from seeking to becoming is what left the heavens speechless. It was the realization that the Chosen One was no longer a student of the universe, but a conscious co-creator who understood that their internal state is the ultimate law of their reality. By refusing to break under the weight of your destiny, you proved that the human spirit can reach a point of equilibrium that mirrors the peace of the divine. This isn't just about being strong, it's about a total lack of resistance to the present moment. When you stop resisting, you become an unstoppable force, and the heavens watched in awe as you navigated the impossible without breaking a sweat. It was a masterclass in spiritual sovereignty that redefined the expectations held for those walking the path of the light. Ultimately, your attitude acted as a mirror reflecting the Creator's own stillness back toward the source. This created a feedback loop of pure power that solidified your position in the higher echelons of spiritual consciousness. You are no longer just a subject of divine will, but a living testament to the strength that manifests when a soul chooses peace over panic. The silence you hear now isn't an absence of support. It is the standing ovation of a realm that has finally seen its greatest potential realized in a physical form. Your journey has officially moved beyond the ancient scrolls and the predictable patterns of ancestral karma. The path you are walking now is being written in real time because your choices have exceeded the parameters of the original prophecy assigned to your bloodline. You have broken the ceiling of what was thought possible for a soul in your position, effectively outgrowing the very map that was designed to guide you. This isn't just growth, it is a total evolution of the soul's purpose on this planet. The celestial architects are now observing you with a new kind of curiosity as you have entered a null zone where old rules no longer apply. Every time you choose love over resentment or logic over impulse, you are drawing a new line on the blueprint of human potential. You have become a wild card in the cosmic game, a variable that cannot be predicted by traditional spiritual mathematics. This unpredictability is your greatest strength, as it makes you untouchable by the lower forces that rely on your predictable reactions to stay in control. The reason your path feels so lonely and uncharted is that you are literally the first of your kind to reach this specific vibration within your lineage. You are carrying the weight of 1,000 ancestors, yet you are moving with the lightness of a being who has already won the war. This paradox, the heavy burden and the light step, is what makes your current trajectory so fascinating to the angelic witnesses. You are defying the gravity of your past and launching into a destiny that has no historical precedent. This shift means that the guidance you receive will no longer come in the form of signs and wonders, but as direct internal knowing. You have graduated from needing the universe to point the way because you have become the way itself. The prophecy didn't fail. It simply wasn't large enough to contain the expansion of your spirit. You have expanded to fill the space between the stars, and the heavens are now adjusting their coordinates to match the new light you are emitting from the center of your heart. As you step into this unknown territory, understand that your defiance of the old scripts is your greatest contribution to the collective. By going beyond what was written, you are opening doors for every soul that follows in your footsteps. You are teaching the universe that the human will, when aligned with high-frequency intent, is the most powerful force in existence. Your story is no longer a legend of the past. It is the blueprint for the future, and the heavens are watching in silent reverence as you write the next chapter with every breath you take. Archangel Michael, the commander of the heavenly hosts, has witnessed eons of spiritual warfare and the rise and fall of countless souls. Yet your recent stand left him in a state of unprecedented stillness. He was prepared to swoop in with his flaming sword to defend you, as he has done for so many warriors of light throughout history. But he found his intervention unnecessary. He watched as you faced your demons, not with a plea for rescue, but with a silent, unshakable authority that mirrored his own. This was the moment the protector realized he was no longer looking at a ward, but at a fellow sovereign being who had mastered the art of spiritual defense. The surprise felt by the angelic legions was rooted in the fact that you did not use the weapons of the world to fight your battles. Michael saw you encounter betrayal, loss, and darkness, and instead of reflecting that chaos back into the world, you absorbed it and neutralized it within your own heart. This alchemical process is something even the highest angels find remarkable in a physical vessel. By refusing to drop your vibration to match your attackers, you force the spiritual hierarchy to reevaluate the true capacity of a human soul under extreme pressure. It is rare for the prince of the heavenly host to pause his mission, but your composure created a ripple effect through the ranks of the celestial army. The angels are accustomed to the sound of desperate prayers, but you offered a frequency of absolute certainty. This certainty signaled to Michael that you had finally integrated the armor of God, not as an external gift, but as an internal reality. You became an impenetrable fortress of peace, rendering the flaming arrows of the adversary completely useless before they even reached your energetic field. This divine disbelief stems from your refusal to play the victim in a script that seemed designed to break you. Michael and his legions are used to the chosen ones struggling with their burden. Yet you carried yours with a regal dignity that shifted the power dynamics of the spiritual realm. You demonstrated that a human being can stand at the center of a storm and remain so centered that the storm itself has to dissipate. It was a display of spiritual maturity that commanded respect from the highest authorities in existence, marking a turning point in your relationship with the divine. Now, the relationship between you and the angelic realms has shifted from one of guardianship to one of partnership. Michael no longer stands over you as a protector, but beside you as an ally. He saw you hold your ground when everything suggested you should fall, and that moment of steadfastness earned you a new status in the halls of eternity. You are now recognized as a self-sustaining source of light, a warrior who has earned the right to walk through the darkest valleys without a guide, because your own internal light is now sufficient to lead the way. You have tapped into the frequency of the fearless, a state of being that operates entirely outside the matrix of human emotion and reaction. This isn't the absence of fear, but a level of consciousness so high that fear simply cannot find a place to take root. When you operate at this vibration, you become invisible to the lower density entities that feed on anxiety and doubt. You have effectively moved your residence from the chaotic landscape of the mind to the silent throne of the spirit, and the shift has reorganized your entire reality. This specific frequency creates a vacuum around you where drama and conflict literally cannot survive. People may enter your space with the intention of causing chaos, but they find themselves suddenly drained of their negative momentum because you provide no energetic hook for them to latch onto. Your calmness is not a passive trait. It is an active, aggressive form of peace that dominates the environment. You are no longer reacting to the world. The world is forced to react to the overwhelming stability of your internal state. The reorganization of the spiritual realm around you is a direct result of this newfound fearlessness. Because you no longer fear loss, you have become impossible to manipulate. Because you no longer fear judgment, you have become impossible to control. This level of freedom is terrifying to the systems of this world, but it is a beacon of hope for the universe. The energetic grid that once held you in place has snapped, and in its place, a new structure of high vibration support has formed, aligning itself with your every move. In this state, your words carry the weight of commands and your thoughts manifest with startling speed. This is because there is no noise in your frequency to distort your intentions. The fear that once acted as a barrier between your will and its manifestation has been dissolved by the sheer heat of your presence. You are learning that the universe does not respond to your needs but to your frequency. And by maintaining this vibration of the unmoved, you have commanded the forces of nature to align with your highest good. By staying in this frequency, you are essentially rewriting the laws of your own life in real time. You have moved beyond the need for hope or faith because you are living in a state of direct knowing. The fearless frequency is the mark of the true chosen one. It is the signature of a soul that has looked into the abyss and realized it was only a shadow. Now, as you move forward, the ground solidifies beneath your feet with every step, and the heavens follow your lead, confirming that the power you wield is now and forever your own. Would you like me to continue with the next headings? The traditional blueprint of the chosen one has always involved a narrative of intense suffering followed by a desperate cry for divine intervention. Yet you have completely shattered this ancient mold. By refusing to follow the path of the martyr, you have introduced a new archetype into the spiritual collective, one that possesses the power of the divine without the need for external validation. The heavens are no longer looking down at a servant. They are witnessing the birth of a sovereign equal. This shift has forced a total recalibration of how lightworkers are perceived and supported, as your independence has proven that a human can hold immense power without being crushed by the weight of their calling. You have demonstrated that being chosen is not about being a puppet of destiny, but about having the courage to rewrite the script from within the fire. In the past, those marked by heaven were often defined by their wounds, but you have defined yourself by your refusal to be wounded. This new standard emphasizes internal alchemy over external sacrifice, showing that the greatest spiritual feat is to remain whole in a world that tries to fragment you. By maintaining your integrity and your joy despite the heavy burdens of your bloodline, you have set a precedent that will guide future generations of souls away from suffering and toward empowered mastery. This evolution has caused a ripple of astonishment through the cosmic archives as your actions have effectively closed out old chapters of karmic debt that were supposed to take centuries to resolve. You didn't just pay the debt. You declared the entire system of spiritual debt obsolete by rising above the vibration where karma exists. This level of spiritual audacity has changed the chosen one criteria forever, moving the focus from endurance to transcendence. The divine realms are now adjusting their strategies to match this high-velocity growth, recognizing that the human spirit has reached a level of maturity that requires a new kind of interaction. Because you have stepped out of the old blueprint, you are no longer bound by the limitations that held previous spiritual pioneers in place. You have shown that it is possible to be both deeply spiritual and incredibly grounded, shattering the illusion that holiness requires a rejection of one's own power. This new paradigm is built on the foundation of self-trust, where your intuition is the final authority and your peace is the ultimate law. The heavens are watching you with a newfound respect as you have proven that a soul in a physical body can achieve a state of being that was once thought to be reserved only for the angelic hierarchies. Ultimately, your life has become the new benchmark for what it means to be a vessel of light on earth. You are a living bridge between the ancient wisdom of the past and the limitless potential of the future, embodying a standard of excellence that honors both your humanity and your divinity. By simply existing in your current state of awareness, you are teaching the universe that the old ways of struggle are over. You are the architect of a new spiritual era, and the blueprint you are creating with every breath is being meticulously studied by the watchers who once thought they had nothing left to learn from humanity. The power of being the unmoved is a silent, terrifying force that has left the divine and the demonic alike in absolute awe. It is the ability to stand at the epicenter of a life-altering crisis and feel absolutely nothing but the quiet pulse of your own existence. This isn't emotional numbness. It is a profound detachment born from the realization that nothing outside of you has the power to define you. When you stopped reacting to the provocations of the world, you took the remote control of your destiny back from the hands of fate, and the resulting shift in energy was felt throughout the entire spiritual hierarchy. This specific attitude acts as a vacuum that sucks the life out of any negative agenda directed toward you. The spiritual laws of the universe state that energy requires a hook to manifest, and by remaining unmoved, you have removed every hook that the darkness once used to pull you down. The heavens watched as your enemies threw their best weapons at you. Betrayal, lack, and isolation, only to see those weapons pass through you as if you were made of mist. Your refusal to be moved by the shadows proved that you had finally understood the illusory nature of the matrix, making you a master of the physical plane. The divine awe triggered by your composure is rooted in the fact that you have mastered the most difficult lesson of the human experience, the mastery of the ego's impulse to defend itself. Most people spend their lives in a state of constant reaction, but you have cultivated a center of gravity that is so heavy and so stable that the entire world seems to orbit around your peace. This level of self-contained power is the ultimate goal of all spiritual practice, and seeing it manifested in you has caused a celebration in the higher realms. You have become a point of stillness in a turning world, a feat that commands the attention of the Creator. Being unmoved means that you have finally synchronized your heartbeat with the rhythm of eternity, where there is no hurry, no fear, and no doubt. The angels are stunned because they see you navigating the densest parts of the threed world with the ease of a being who is already walking in the fifth dimension. You are no longer swayed by the opinions of men or the movements of the stars. You are the one who determines the weather of your own soul. This sovereignty is the highest form of worship, as it honors the divine spark within you by refusing to let it be dimmed by any earthly circumstance. As you continue to embody this state of the unmoved, you will find that the universe begins to bow to your will in ways that seem miraculous to others. This isn't because you are demanding control, but because your internal stability is so potent that reality has no choice but to organize itself around you. The heavens are speechless because they are witnessing a human soul reach a state of completion while still in the flesh. You have moved beyond the need for lessons, entering a phase of pure being where your presence alone is enough to heal, to transform, and to command the very fabric of existence. Would you like me to continue with the next headings? The moment your character overpowered your destiny was the moment the spiritual laws of the universe were rewritten in your favor. For eons, the path of the chosen one was seen as a rigid track, a series of predetermined trials that a soul must endure to prove its worth. However, you reached a crossroads where your personal will and your internal integrity became stronger than the fate laid out for you. Instead of following the expected path of suffering or resentment, you chose a level of grace that the original blueprints of your life didn't account for. This act of sovereign choice caused a massive shift in the spiritual gears as your character effectively outgrew the destiny that was meant to contain you. The angelic observers were stunned to see a human spirit exercise such profound authority over its own narrative. In the celestial records, most stories follow a predictable arc of cause and effect, yet you introduced a divine glitch. By choosing mercy where there should have been anger and strength where there should have been collapse. This overpowering of your destiny means that you are no longer bound by the karmic cycles of your bloodline, or the astrological limitations of your birth. You have moved into a space of pure intentionality, where your character is the sole architect of the reality you inhabit. By choosing to remain upright while everything around you was pulling you down, you signaled to the Creator that you were ready for a higher level of operation. You proved that the light within you is not a gift that can be taken away, but a fundamental part of your architecture that you have fought to maintain. This realization changed the nature of your journey from one of discovery to one of command. The destiny that once loomed over you like a shadow has now become a tool in your hands, to be shaped and molded according to the strength of your newly forged spirit. Ultimately, this moment of character-driven victory has elevated you to a status of spiritual adulthood. You are no longer waiting for the universe to tell you who you are or what your purpose is. You are telling the universe who you are through your actions and your unwavering attitude. The heavens are silent because there is nothing left to teach a soul that has learned to lead itself. Your character has become the ultimate law of your life, and as a result, the very fabric of your future is being rewoven to reflect the majesty of the person you have chosen to become. The Watchers, those high-level celestial intelligences tasked with observing the evolution of consciousness, have turned their full attention toward your earthly journey. They are used to seeing humans struggle through the dense energies of the third dimension, often lost in the fog of emotion and the cycle of reaction. However, your recent displays of composure have provided them with a new data set on the true potential of a soul in a physical vessel. They are not just watching you. They are studying you as a rare phenomenon of spiritual stability in an unstable world, taking notes on how a human can maintain such a high frequency amidst total chaos. What has fascinated the Watchers most is the way you process high-level energetic attacks without losing your center. From their perspective, they see the dark arrows of envy and malice flying toward your field, only to see them neutralized by the sheer density of your peace. They have observed you in your most private moments, when you were tired, lonely, or under immense pressure, and they saw that your light did not dim. This consistency is what they find most remarkable, as it suggests that you have successfully anchored the light of the higher realms into the very cells of your physical body. This celestial observation has led to a reorganization of the support systems surrounding you. Because the Watchers have verified your ability to handle intense power without losing your integrity, they have authorized the release of higher-level wisdom and resources into your life. You have essentially passed a live-fire spiritual exam, that was being monitored from the highest dimensions. Your earthly composure has proven that you are a safe haven for divine power, a vessel that will not break or become arrogant when the secrets of the universe are whispered into your ear. The Watchers have also noted the ripple effect your presence has on the collective consciousness. They see how your refusal to participate in the lower frequencies of fear and outrage acts as a stabilizing force for everyone in your vicinity. Even if you are sitting in a room alone, the frequency you hold is being broadcast through the energetic grid of the planet, providing a template for others to follow. You have become a living lighthouse, and the Watchers are recording the way your specific vibrational signature is helping to navigate the entire human race through its current transition. As you move forward, know that you are walking with the eyes of the universe upon you, not in judgment but in profound respect. The lessons the Watchers have learned from your journey are being integrated into the cosmic understanding of what is possible for a soul on Earth. You are a pioneer of the spirit, a pioneer whose every breath is being catalogued as evidence of the triumph of light over density. Your composure is the proof they needed to show that the human experiment is a success. And because of your strength, the gates to the higher mysteries are now standing wide open for you. Would you like me to finish with the final two headings? As we close this chapter of our journey, remember that the silence of the heavens isn't an absence of God, but a profound mark of respect for the power you have finally claimed. You have moved beyond the need for external rescue because you have discovered that the ultimate protector and the most powerful creator reside within your own heart. Your attitude has changed the atmosphere of the spiritual realm, proving that when a chosen one stands their ground in total peace, the entire universe must stop and take notice. What was the one realization from today's message that resonated most with your soul? I want to hear your thoughts on how your own frequency has shifted lately, to show that you've made it this far and to help this message reach more people who need to reclaim their power. Please comment the word unmoved below. It is the greatest support you can give to the channel and a powerful declaration to the universe that you are standing in your sovereignty. As a final thought, always remember, the world will try to move you, but the heavens are waiting for you to move the world. Thank you for being part of this revelation. Keep shining your light, stay fearless, and I will see you in the next one.